Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Oates, and this is Tech Talk for the Hoffman Auto Group. Well, this week I'm inside. It's been kind of dreary out. Today's not too bad. And I was browsing my phone, and I saw two different feeds come across my screen this week. One showed an individual pouring Coca-Cola into their gasoline tank on their car. The other showed an individual with what looked like a bottle of maple syrup and the fuel tank inlet right there. And that comes to mind, I won't even bother telling you what the captions to these additive driven things were with whatever they're trying to promote, but I didn't click on them either because I didn't want to know. Brings up the question about fuel additives and what they mean for the consumer and what's available to the consumer, what works, what doesn't, and what is quite honestly really stupid to do and what is not. So a lot of people have asked me questions about fuel additives and if they're effective or not. The intent of fuel additives is a couple different things. There are fuel additives that are fuel system cleaners, fuel additives that are octane boosters, and fuel additives that are stabilizers, gasoline stabilizers for long-term storage. Gasoline stabilizers are very effective. I use them in my power equipment over the winter. I also have friends with muscle cars and classic sports cars that they don't drive in the winter. They use stabilizer over the course of the winter so the gasoline does not degrade in that length of time. Those are fine. There are some good solid brands there. Talk to your guys at the auto parts store, they'll help you out. As for octane boosters, they're not really required anymore. We have good high octane fuel available at the pump. If you have an older vehicle with a very high compression engine, that might be an issue, and they could be a good option for that. But the main one I want to talk about are fuel injector cleaners and fuel system cleaners. And there are a number of these on the market. Are they effective? Well, yes, if used properly. There are a couple good brands out there, some top sellers that you can see on any auto parts store shelf would be, say, Techron or Gumout or STP. Some lesser known ones from Lucas and Amsoil are very good products as well. The trick with fuel injector cleaners is they're not a repair item. They're a maintenance item. And ideally they're used periodically to keep the fuel system clean rather than clean a fuel system that's already gummed up and contaminated. So my recommendation would be, if you choose to use a fuel additive, do it at the same time you get your oil change service done, and do it every time, and routinely. This keeps the fuel system pretty clean, keeps carbon buildup at a minimum and varnish at a minimum. There are some other issues with this. If you have a gasoline direct injected vehicle, which many are today, then there's parts of the fuel system that will not be able to be cleaned by an additive. So if you do have questions, my best advice is to speak with your service professionals. Now, at the service departments at Hoffman, we have some fuel injection service cleaners that are delivered through an apparatus that's actually connected to the vehicle that bypasses the vehicle's fuel system. And these are designed for a really intense, heavy cleaning, and they're only to be used by trained professionals. These are not available to you over the counter. So if you really want a fuel system cleaning, talk to your service department. That we can do for you. I highly recommend this, especially over 60,000 miles. It really does help an engine run properly and keep running properly. As for the over-the-counter additives, sure, they're effective, not nearly as effective as what is available to the professional market. There's reasons for that that are too broad to get into here. So be careful, stay off of the silliness that comes across your phone screen in terms of what to pour in a fuel tank and what not, and ask your service professional what the best thing to do for your car over the long term is. Different cars have different needs. We're happy to talk to you about that. We're also happy to share with you what we have available to service your car at the dealership that is not available to you over the counter. So I hope this helps answer questions about fuel additives and what's available out there. Buy good quality gasoline from known vendors at good fuel stations. Avoid gasoline brands that you may not know of or may not recognize. Granted, it is a fungible commodity. However, a lot of additives are put in by the manufacturers, and storage is important as well. We want to make sure there's no water, moisture, and incorrect additives installed in gasoline. So again, stick with the good brands. Unfortunately, prices are up right now. We want to keep our mileage up and do the best we can and get the most out of the fuel we buy. So again, any questions, talk to your service professionals. I hope this is helpful, and please keep the questions coming to me. This is Aaron Oates for Tech Talk with the Hoffman Auto Group. Y'all have a great day.